The Cold War was a time of fear. It was an era defined by the looming threat of global conflict, where every move was watched and every action scrutinized. Civilians lived under the constant shadow of potential nuclear war, and the world was divided into two opposing camps. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a dangerous standoff. This was not just a battle of ideologies, but a high-stakes game of chess played on a global scale. The intelligence agencies of both superpowers played a deadly game. They orchestrated covert operations, conducted surveillance, and engaged in psychological warfare, all in an effort to gain the upper hand. Every piece of information was valuable. Intelligence gathered from spies, satellites, and intercepted communications could provide crucial insights into the enemy's plans and capabilities. It could shift the balance of power. A single piece of intelligence could tip the scales, giving one side a strategic advantage and potentially altering the course of the Cold War. One such secret lay at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, hidden beneath the waves. It was a mystery that both superpowers were desperate to uncover. It was a Soviet submarine, the K-129. This vessel held valuable secrets that could provide a significant advantage to whoever recovered it first. Its recovery would become one of the most daring and secretive operations of the Cold War. The mission to retrieve the K-129 was a testament to the lengths both sides would go to in their quest for dominance. The Cold War was not just fought on land and in the air. The oceans became another battleground. Submarines armed with nuclear missiles patrolled the depths. They were a silent threat, capable of launching a devastating attack. Both the US and the Soviet Union poured resources into their submarine fleets. The Soviets, in particular, were aggressive in their submarine development. They aimed to surpass American capabilities. The US Navy, in turn, sought to track these underwater predators. They deployed sophisticated listening devices. They wanted to know the location of every Soviet submarine. In 1968, the Soviet submarine K-129 vanished. It was on a routine patrol in the Pacific Ocean. Then, it simply disappeared. The Soviets mounted a massive search effort. They found nothing. The fate of the K-129 remained a mystery. The US Navy, however, had picked up a series of underwater explosions. They suspected the K-129 had suffered a catastrophic failure. It had likely sunk to the bottom of the ocean. This presented a unique opportunity for the United States. If they could recover the K-129, they could gain access to Soviet secrets. The CIA was tasked with recovering the K-129. This was a daunting challenge. The submarine lay over 3 miles below the surface. The operation, codenamed Project Azorian, was shrouded in secrecy. The CIA turned to Howard Hughes, the eccentric billionaire, for cover. Hughes would build a massive ship, ostensibly for deep-sea mining. This ship, the Hughes Glomar Explorer, would be the key to raising the K-129. Its construction was a marvel of engineering. It had to be large enough to handle the submarine. It also had to be equipped with specialized lifting equipment. Section 5, the Glomar Explorer, a ship with a secret. The Glomar Explorer was unlike any other ship. It was a marvel of engineering and a testament to the ingenuity of its creators. It was over 600 feet long and had a massive tower in its center. This tower was not just for show, it had a very specific and secretive purpose. This tower housed a giant claw, an engineering feat that was both impressive and mysterious. This claw, nicknamed Clementine, was designed to grab the K-129, a sunken Soviet submarine, and lift it from the ocean floor. The operation was as daring as it was secretive. The ship was built under tight security. Every aspect of its construction was monitored and controlled to ensure that no details leaked out. Workers were told they were building a mining vessel. This cover story was essential to keep the true mission under wraps. The true purpose of the Glomar Explorer was a closely guarded secret. It was part of a covert operation known as Project Azorian. Only a handful of people knew the truth. These individuals were sworn to secrecy and operated under the highest levels of confidentiality. The CIA went to extraordinary lengths to maintain this secrecy. They orchestrated an elaborate cover story and employed numerous security measures to ensure the mission's success. the Glomar Explorer remains one of the most intriguing and mysterious ships in naval history, a true testament to the lengths nations will go to during times of geopolitical tension. Section 6. Into the Abyss. In 1974, the Glomar Explorer set sail for the recovery site. The operation was fraught with risk. The Soviet Union still monitored the area. If they discovered the Americans' intentions, it could lead to a confrontation. The crew of the Glomar Explorer worked tirelessly. They lowered Clementine to the ocean floor. It took days to reach the K-129. The pressure at that depth was immense. The slightest mistake could jeopardize the entire mission. The tension on board the Glomar Explorer was palpable. Section 7. Triumph and Tragedy. Clementine finally reached the K-129. It slowly began to lift the submarine. The crew rejoiced. They were on the verge of success, but then disaster struck. As the K-129 was being raised, a section of the submarine broke off. It plunged back into the abyss. The mood on the Glomar Explorer shifted from elation to despair. They had only recovered a portion of the K-129. The most valuable sections, including the nuclear missiles and codebooks, were lost. The operation, though a technical marvel, was only a partial success. Section 8. Whispers of Success. Despite the setback, the CIA had managed to recover some parts of the K-129. They retrieved torpedoes, codebooks, and the bodies of 6 Soviet sailors. This provided valuable intelligence on Soviet submarine technology and capabilities. The operation, though not a complete victory, was far from a failure. The CIA kept the operation's success a closely guarded secret. They feared Soviet retaliation. They also didn't want to reveal their intelligence-gathering capabilities. The story of the Glomar Explorer and the K-129 remained hidden for years. Section 9. A Legacy of Innovation. The Glomar Explorer mission, though shrouded in secrecy, had a lasting impact. It showcased American ingenuity and technological prowess. The development of the Glomar Explorer and Clementine pushed the boundaries of engineering. It paved the way for future deep-sea exploration and salvage operations. The mission also highlighted the importance of undersea intelligence gathering. It led to increased investment in sonar technology and underwater surveillance. The Cold War might have been fought in the shadows, but it spurred incredible technological advancements. Section 10. Echoes of the Cold War. The Cold War is over, but its legacy endures. The ideological battle between the East and the West shaped the world in ways that are still evident today. The Berlin Wall, a stark symbol of division, stood as a physical and ideological barrier between two worlds. The story of the Glomar Explorer and the K-129 serves as a reminder of that era. The covert mission to recover a sunken Soviet submarine highlighted the lengths to which both sides would go to gain an advantage. It was a time of high stakes and daring operations. Espionage was rampant, with spies and double agents operating in the shadows, risking everything for their countries. It was a time when the fate of the world hung in the balance. The doomsday clock, a symbol of how close humanity was to catastrophic destruction, often inched perilously close to midnight. The Cold War might be a historical footnote, but the lessons learned during that time still resonate. The constant threat of nuclear war and the pervasive atmosphere of fear and suspicion left an indelible mark on global consciousness. The importance of intelligence gathering, the meticulous analysis of satellite imagery, and the decoding of intercepted communications were crucial in maintaining a precarious balance of power. The dangers of nuclear proliferation, the terrifying potential of these weapons of mass destruction, and the efforts to control and reduce nuclear arsenals remain critical issues. And the need for international cooperation are as relevant today as they were then. Diplomatic efforts, treaties, and negotiations were essential in preventing the Cold War from turning hot. The echoes of the Cold War can still be felt in the world today. Modern geopolitical tensions, the ongoing struggle for power and influence, and the presence of Cold War memorials and monuments serve as reminders of a time when the world stood on the brink of disaster.